Yo, what is up, guys? Just want to make a quick video on the Stonevault Mechsuit that you guys get from the Stonevault, the dungeon, the Stonevault on Mythic 0 or Mythic Plus, and it's actually a quest item. So the reason I wanted to make this video is specifically for that quest. So you get the quest if you get the drop, if you're lucky enough to get the drop. I don't know how low percentage it is, but I've ran this a couple times so far since Mythic's been out, and was lucky enough to receive it last night. And I just finished the quest about an hour ago. It took me a couple hours to get this guy done, but it's kind of cool. It's a darker shade of the other mechs that we do have in the game, the few other ones. But I just wanted to tell you guys, to get this one, there's a few things you have to do, and they're simple, but also can be time consuming if you don't know about this beforehand. And especially if you play alts, this should be pretty easy to have eventually, you know, a couple weeks into the season, if you guys are just playing the game or have played the game. So you'll get the quest. The first quest asks you to go back to Gundergrass, so back to the Ringing Deep's city hub, and you talk to a guy, and he tells you to go get him a trinket, and actually you'll come back and give him multiple trinkets, but the first one is in the Stonevault. So you get them out from the last boss, and you got to go back into the Stonevault to get a trinket that drops off of the Master Machinists, and it's this guy, the Overclocked Geararang Launcher. Now I believe this one can be dropped on every single class, so it doesn't matter, you just need to go run it on any class. And what I did is I ran all of these on follower dungeons. Some of them you actually have to run them on the specific dungeons to find them because of the season and how they're doing things now, and some of the dungeons are not in the season rotation, but this is the first one you'll need. So again, if you already have this trinket, save it, do not get rid of it. And this goes for all of the other trinkets that I'm going to talk about. There's just 3 of them, so not too many, but you do have to do a couple different things to get them. So that one can be dropped in any class. You can just kill these Master Machinists, and if you do this on as a follower dungeon, you can just kill the first boss and go right, and then kill these guys, and then leave the dungeon, and then reset, and just keep doing that over and over again. Each run was about 8 minutes for me per run for the Stonevault, and that's the first one you'll get. The second one you have to go get is from the Cinderbrew meadery. So here's the current season. Obviously it's not in this current season, so you go to War Within, and here it is. You can do this on follower dungeons, you can do this on, I believe, not heroic, but you can do it on normal dungeons as well. And you'll just go and pick it and then queue up for it. Again, if you do follower dungeons, it's gonna be so much easier. This one took me hours to farm. It drops from the last boss, and you have to be an intellect user. Okay, you could be a healer, you could be a DPS, it doesn't matter, but you have to use intellect because it's this guy, the Synergistic Brutalizer. You can get it obviously on follower dungeons. That's how I got it. It took me about 12 attempts, I think, and it was about 10 to 12 minutes per dungeon, just because the followers can be kind of slow, and I did it on fresh level 70s. That's the second thing I should have mentioned, is that this quest is going to be warbound. Okay, so you start the quest on one character, whoever you get it on, and then you can go and run this on all of your characters. You'll just open up your quest log, and you'll see the quest there. So it doesn't matter who you do this on level 70s. It's a little easier because, again, the scaling is a little whack, and if you have 70s from season 4 of Dragonflight, they're going to be pretty buff. Okay, so then you can run these so much quicker. Again, I did it on a follower dungeon and eventually got it, and then you go turn that guy in, and then you need one more trinket, and that one drops from again another non-seasonal dungeon, the Darkflame Cleft. And this trinket is gonna be dropped from the Candle King, and it's the Burin of the Candle King. This is also a intellect trinket, but it's only dropped for healers, so you need to be a class that can spec as a healer. Again, it's warbound, so you can do it on anybody. And you just have to be able to spec healer. You don't have to play the healer, you just have to spec, drop your loot specialization to the healer here, and then you'll get it. I did it on my Shadow Priest, and then got the drop like the first or second time, I forget. This one was pretty quick. I got pretty lucky on that one too. And again, just like the Stonevault, you can just do the first 3 bosses, kill the 3rd boss, get Candle King here. If you don't get the drop, you reset it and just do it again. Bless up for follower dungeons, because that is amazing. And after you turn that in, that's it. Right, just a few short things and you get them out. Like I said, if you already have these trinkets, I mentioned it on the first trinket, but all of the trinkets, if you get these trinkets, save them. Okay, because of the, with the lucky chance that you do get this quest drop, you'll save yourself so much time. Then it's just a free mount, and you just go turn in some old trinkets, because when you're leveling up, you don't realize that this might be worth something, right? It's probably 460 eye level, 420 eye level, heck, when you're first level 70, right? Super low. And if you get this drop, you're not going to think anything of it. You're maybe just going to trash it or use it for a little bit and then replace it. But if you do replace them, then make sure you keep them for this quest line. So it's pretty important. And again, it took me a minute because I didn't do any of this, and I farmed them all raw. And like I said, it took me, I got it last night, so I mean, I did it within a day, but man, it was like all I was doing was that for a couple hours. I would say I spent at least at least probably 5 or 6 hours farming this again, and I would say that's probably pretty lucky. Cinderbrew meteory again took me a lot. I got the same like cloth shoulders like 6 times in a row. But again, you know, you could do that. You could also, I didn't mention this yet, but you can also do this with a full group of people. If you can get some people to help you, get a bunch of people who could spec in that certain specialization for these last two, because the first one you can be anybody, any spec works, but the last two are a little tricky because again, one's intellect healer. So if you have a group of people that can go and run this, it'll be so much easier to do that too. But if you're a solo Andy like me and how I was, no one really wants to help you run these follower / normal dungeons right now. It's just, you know, it's just easier that way. So it's nice that you can do it, but again, it might take you some time. But again, if you guys get these on any characters, save them for later. Cool. All right, that's it, guys. I just want to do a quick guide of this because I figured it'd be helpful for some of you guys out there who are farming mounts. Yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.